We're here with the first international episode in English. Some Swedish will be present with our guest, Kim Phantomles Storm, mid laner for YDN, who next week are going to face Racoon in the finals.
YDN gamers.
YDN gamers.
We have to start with some cringe, you know?
Very accurate.
Okay, so we prepared a lot of nasty questions because you're going to. Also we asked to some people outside the Italian community if they had questions for you, and they did. So there will be a lot.
Well.
So, but the first thing we're going to talk about is one thing I'm very curious about because. Coming from Sweden, which is like generally way more ahead in terms of like esports culture, you have decided to come play to Italy, and you have done so for a stupid long time. I think it was like 2017, so it's 3 years that you compete in Italy. And my question is like, what is so attractive about Italy?
I mean, the Swedish community, when it comes to League of Legends, is actually not that big. It's kind of a joke, which is pretty sad to me because I think there's so many good Swedish players, but they have such good offers like from abroad, Europe. So like they always go for it. For example, Treats is in TSM Academy. We have Jarnan in. GL, Jeskla is in Mouse, and it's like, yeah, and obviously we have Reckless, but like the Swedish players just become so good that they just go elsewhere, and it's just way better. And what happened to me was I got into Italy, and I mean I never got out, but
you're trapped.
I trapped. But I kind of enjoyed the Italian scene a lot more than the Nordic scene, so I stayed, and for now I think it's been worth it.
Okay, so it's not about the usual, like the average Swede guy usually goes to Italy for the sun and the food and whatever, and you came for esports.
I mean,
exactly.
You came into Italy like
and the pasta, you know.
Not your pasta, not your pasta.
Yeah, because that's
chill.
That brings us to the next big question that every like fan was going to ask you. So it's going to be food. You know, this was coming, like food in Italy versus food in Sweden, because you also have lived quite a lot of time in Italy, right?
Actually, yeah, I've been in Italy for the past 2 months or something before I had to go home because of Corona.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I've visited Italy a lot before as well, like with the family, because it's such a nice country to visit.
Shame for the people, but
yeah, I mean, true.
I mean, clockwork, you know.
Yeah. So, what's like an Italian dish that you tasted here that everyone in Sweden should try?
Cacio de pepe, I think it's called. Cacio de pepe?
Cacio e pepe.
Cacio e pepe, yeah. That's probably the best dish I've had in Italy so far, that everyone in Sweden should try.
Yeah, that's an uncommon one. I would expect like something like, the most popular like lasagna. Or...
Actually, I didn't try lasagna.
Okay.
Which is pretty sad.
Yeah, yes it is, indeed.
But like, you gotta go to the places
the
where
right places.
Like Bologna.
Yeah. Feracton told me a lot about Bologna and how superior it is to everything else in Italy.
I mean, that's not like completely true. Like,
yeah, I mean,
let's not go off topic. So.
Yeah.
And the next one is like some Swedish dish that Italian people should try. And I'm putting forward that I can make some lit köttbullar.
Oh, really now? Swedish dish, I don't know, like Sweden is kind of well known to just copy other dishes and improve them. Especially the pasta.
Improve them.
And
yeah.
pizza.
Yeah, sure, man.
But
Okay, like the
I
most.
mean, actually, one thing that you should try, even though it's not originally Swedish, but it's Swedish kebab pizza with everything on it. You have to try it. This fries, kebab, like tomato sauce, like some tomato chili sauce, onions,
Okay.
a shit ton of salad. It's
But-
like it's so much.
How can you
So
sleep at
good.
night, man? Like
So
knowing that you like that. Like how can you like close your eyes
It's
and
the-
sleep?
It's the most famous pizza in Sweden, honestly. Like me
Yeah.
and my friends, we love it. Like
That's
we
a
can
problem.
we can buy one pizza and we have to like cut it in half and share it because it's so big and it's full of stuff, you know. So good. Like the bodybuilders love that pizza.
You put mustard on it.
Oh god. I think that's the only thing I don't put mustard on. Mustard works better with penne. Penne and mustard is like the best, honestly.
I will try today.
Good. Oh, you have mustard? But
I
it
might
needs to
as
be-
well go away. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Stop
And also,
talking about me.
no, that's genius. We can also like merge the names and call it Masta.
Masta. Mind blown, honestly.
Okay.
But like your mustard in Italy is like kind of meh, you know, because it needs to be spicy.
Mhm.
It has to be like kind of spicy. And from what I've noticed in Italy, you put pepper on it and you say, oh, it's spicy.
Okay, so actually, I'm a fan of the other church. Let me open my fridge. So, because I tried the French mustard, which is the spicy one, that has like the spicy seeds in it. But I'm for the Finnish mustard church, and it's like mild. This is the sweet one. So
And it's-
I'm from the opposite side. So yeah, I disagree on the mustard.
Fair enough.
Only on the mustard. Okay.
I actually wanted to add some like very lit pun that
Don't do
I
that, please.
I remember, but
Please
it was
do
too late to say it before. That the Swedish confirm if what I'm going to say. The Swedish have a saying, a proverb that is "smaker är som baker," right?
Smaken är som baken.
Yeah, exactly. Which directly translates tastes are like ass.
Yeah, tastes like the ass.
What?
Which is not to say that Swedes eat shit, but that
I mean,
everyone tastes are like asses because everyone has his own. That's like how they explained it to me.
So everyone has their own taste of their ass.
No, like you shouldn't discuss other people's tastes because everyone has its own, just like everyone has his own ass.
True. You're not the type of person to eat ass, but yeah.
True, like you got the point, and then it went sideways. Like,
So that will be for the viewer to decide.
yeah, I guess so. I mean, I hope they don't do us Phantom.
This will be a
Let's stop
very
that.
popular hashtag. Smaken är som baken.
Nice. That's gonna be nice.
I mean,
Can I get you the Swedish viewers?
yeah, I'm gonna just, I guess.
Send it to them and show them that. Okay, so
I'm like really feeling uncomfortable there.
past, like we talked about the state of the Nordic food, what it is. Now a question like about the state of like Nordics, because like before like we're going to talk about the finals and the split that you have played, but like first a couple of questions here and there to understand also your background and like if Nordic Championship is like keeps being as it is, or improves, or would you ever come back to Sweden to play? Like you currently are in Sweden, but not competitive.
Yeah, that is a good question, and I think yeah, I probably could, honestly, because if Sweden improves, I don't see a reason why I wouldn't join it. You know, like if it becomes possibly better than Italian scene, and there's some structures where gaming houses and like you can play on stage and all that could happen, then yeah, for sure I would definitely go back.
Because when this split started, and there has been some kind of overhaul of the Nordic Championship, and like it made possible so that many organizations could like invest in a more consistent way. So my prediction was that players like you, Stenboss, Bravado, like also Promiscue, Yarnan, and all the Swedish players in the regional leagues would have come back to the Nordic Championship because of its like improved system. But so far it hasn't happened.
Yeah, I think like what kind of ruined it for most players, I think, is because most of the orgs they didn't want to invest in the promotion tournament. So if you would go there and you would find a team, you still wouldn't know if you would qualify, because it's still Nordic, you know. So there could be a super team out of nowhere, and just people doing upsets and stuff. So going there would kind of be a coin flip, because then if you lose, you're kind of done, because the Italian scene kind of like the roster changes and stuff, they kind of close right when the promotion tournament started or something similar. So like that's also a thing with the Italian scene. It kind of starts way earlier than all other scenes. So you kind of have to go for it, or yeah, you might be done for the entire split.
Okay, yeah, that's a bit nasty to plan around.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen like the opposite thing this split, because like Gooby and Robin were left without team like in the very end of the roster lock, and then they joined the Italian team like SPK.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
the promotion tournament, you're right, but the actual tournament is actually like at the same time.
Yeah,
around the same
actual
time.
tournament. The actual tournament is probably at the same time.
Yeah.
True.
So it was the case for you, this split, because you were in promotion tournament, but like most likely you can join later on if you're going for the final roster, like in a team that is already in PG.
True, but then I feel like it could be a bottom scrap tier team, no?
Might be.
Yeah.
There is risk.
Yeah, that's kind of what the good thing with me was, since we got the roster for YDN pretty early. Like we locked some really strong players, and then we had like a talk with Gabo very early on as well, and he had like a lot of offers, I heard. So like our team looked very strong on paper from the start, pretty much.
Okay. So here I have a question from Bar, which is
I know. My
He's
old manager.
Yeah, he's been in Italy, and he's asking that, considering you have played so long in Italy from 2017, this is the first time that you made finals, right?
Yeah, correct.
So what do you think it made the difference this split compared to the other ones?
I think it's just the latest split. Like after I left Inferno and kind of joined Racoon, like the team I had with Flippers, the first PGNS with Racoon. From that point on, I really just went on an improved gap, in my opinion. Like from that point on, I just improved so much because of the players I had around me, you know. Like I could see so much difference, and Flippers actually like people, I think a lot of Italians hate on Flippers, but he's actually like, he's such a good teammate in the sense that he really tries to do his best to actually help improve you, like so much. And like I was very grateful like playing with him, even if he didn't have like good results. But I learned so much from him.
He made you masters, right? In Game Religion. I'm checking. I know it's Hillerod, so he's playing
it's Hillerod,
playoffs.
yeah, he's third or something in there, I think.
Yeah, they're playing tonight.
Yeah. And then like the team with Racoon, I was kind of forced into a playstyle, kind of in a box in a way, but I think it's like I learned a lot as well. Like I played with Kane, and it was a completely different style where like if you poured resources into Kane, he would just solo carry the game, as you saw. But then like if you're playing against stronger teams, it's not really gonna work, since after you saw we got smashed against Outplayed like 0-3, you know. So like I was kind of depleted after we lost to Outplayed in that way, because I felt like I was useless and couldn't do anything. So what I did was
that's Coach Evans' fault, right?
Yeah, better draft wins, you know.
But I wasn't.
so, like...
I wasn't the one on stage. What the fuck? I'm not. I'm joking.
But
I'm
yeah,
joking because it wasn't draft fault. It was Clockwork's fault.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Did I jinx you? Like, was I a fan of Racoon and then I?
Most likely, yes. Yeah.
You were, yeah. You were like, this Racoon is so good. Like, they beat Clash Forge. Like, it's insane. Like, this could actually work. Like 3-2 OP or something similar.
I mean, I still think that if we would have played Clash Forge, we would have won.
Yes, I believe so as well, because they could only play one style and we countered that style because we can only play that style, kind of.
Yeah.
Just pick Glacial in the Pilarish.
Indeed.
But yeah, like what I did was I look at my gameplay and I tried to improve myself mechanically, lane-wise, and a lot of that. And then I went into YDN and smashed scrims.
Mm-hmm.
And then out of nowhere, I got to know they would have a gaming house, and I was like, okay, nice. That's pretty nice. And then they built like one of the best rosters in Italy, as far as I feel concerned about it. And yeah, I'm very happy for that, because I finally get to prove myself.
Oh, that's something that we have all been waiting for.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of good when there's a story of a player who commits himself for so long time to a scene and actually like grows with it and finally gets to the final. And I mean, it's a really good narrative.
Yeah, thanks. I agree. It's kind of sad though that we can't play it on stage, and if we would win, lift the trophy, you know.
Yeah, that's a major like missed chance, but
there's always
what
another.
Yeah, it's everyone in Europe at the moment, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually.
But you mentioned that during last year with Racoon you were forced in a box. Okay, I'm not going to blame Evan too much for it, but this kind of sparked the meme of glacial player. Okay, so. What do you think about the meme first? And second one, it kind of got buffed because now Ingenious Hunter in the next patch is going to be like 25% cooldown on items. So it's time for Glacial again.
Possibly, who knows? Maybe I'll warm up for the finals, Racoon. Watch out. But no, I mean, what I think of Glacial, like the meme, I think it's kind of funny, since I mean it was kind of true. Like I played Glacial like 24/7 when I was in Racoon, and we won, so I didn't care that much. But it's like I feel like the splits, if they memed it, it didn't matter because I knew I would smash them. So
whatever works.
Like if they said it, then it would be fine because I would just show them, you know. And about the buff, I mean, possibly, maybe I'll show it off in EU Masters. But I really don't think it's gonna be that meta because of. I mean, you're gonna be able to use it a lot, but I think it's gonna be way better on like supportive junglers or something. For example, when we played SMS and I played Zoe, Seaboy actually bought that item, and he bought it to get control of the jungle. So like, and usually you go Predator and Gragas, so like that's actually a champion I could see it being possible in like some scenarios, I'd say. But other than that, I don't think it's gonna be viable for Glacial in mid or anything.
Okay.
Maybe support like Vel'Koz or like Invigorated Carry. That could work.
I mean, you should go with the domination tree, and like it's not usually what you go for.
Yeah, that's also a thing. But electrocute bot laners, bro.
Yeah.
Kinda broken.
Syndra and stuff.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, GLP on Cinder's not that bad.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's not ideal, but yeah.
Now moving on to the finals, which is going to be the main hot topic. Cold topics, which the Glacial we talked about. Now hot topic about the finals.
Oh yeah, you meant cold topic?
How harder is it going to be without ends?
On a scale
Spicy.
of on a scale of 1 to 10, probably
Where 1 is like it's going to be as easy as if we had ends, and 10 is like 0-3.
and then 10 would probably, please dear God, help us. Can we please have another substitute? No, but probably a 5.5.
Okay.
Maybe a 6.
so
I guess a 6.
that's also like kind of my opinion from outside, because of course I don't know the team dynamics and whatever. So it's still kind of very hard to predict if it's like.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
Racoon is good. YDN should be much better, but without ends, it's like kind of around the same level. So it's like it's going to be one of the closest finals that we had in a long time.
Yeah, I think it could be.
On Twitter, they are already scouting Tabasco. ADC gameplay. Haven't you seen that?
Yeah.
Like the tweet?
I mean, yeah. I saw the tweets, and yeah, I mean, all I can say is that it's gonna be pretty spicy. It's pretty spicy finals. Like it's since we're not on stage and like there's not even gonna be like a trophy in it. We're kind of CBA in a way. Like we care, but we're just gonna do our best with what we can. You know, like even if ends is banned, we're just gonna spice it up and look for the best. Because
also because since you already qualified together with Racoon for EU Masters, you without the appeal of the trophy, like physical trophy itself, you're basically playing for seeding.
Yeah, so obviously playing in groupings is way better. But what also could be good is playing from play-ins, because if we go play-ins, then our goal suddenly becomes to like crush the teams, or like not crush, like win against the teams, like the third, second tier seed from the other regions, and you can actually show yourself off in that way as well. So you could do something like ClickTech did before, like they went from play-ins and just destroyed everyone, you know, and then just went into groupings. So like if worst comes to worst, then that's what we're gonna try and achieve. Just make it through play-ins.
I mean, Misfits too started from play-ins, right? Misfits Premier, like last split. Let me check.
Oh, they did?
Let me
With
check.
the litter?
Yeah, I think they did, but
They might have, yeah.
Misfits Premier. like because starting from play-in, actually most of the times, and that's like that works for MSI and Worlds and all tournaments. So EU Masters has shown it as well, that you kind of get an early advantage on playing against other teams, feeling the patch, and getting ready for the tournament.
Yeah, like getting the, what can I say, like the, yeah, like playing the game before everyone else has a lot of advantages. It's the same as, it's kind of the same as us when we played the promotion tournament for PG, you know, like we felt the water and it was like, oh, it was kind of easy, you know.
Yeah.
That's no biggie.
Yeah.
So that could also be it, except that your master will probably not be easy.
Misfits Premier started from play-ins.
Yeah, they
Not
did.
only that, SK Prime too, and they met in the finals of the event. So
Damn, that's pretty insane. Oh yeah, SK Prime. Yeah, the roster was like pretty good. I remember.
so you would actually try again. You would actually like prefer starting from play-ins.
Yeah, for the story, I would prefer it.
Okay.
But
Only for that.
playing in being number 1 seed from Italy, I'd probably prefer that. But I feel like it's I feel kind of bad as well for Racoon, because so like if we would have ends and they would have made the upset, then like they would have been so hyped, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now it's like if they win, people are just saying, "Oh yeah, but YDN didn't have ends," and it's like it's a pretty sad situation for them, I feel.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I feel like if they win against us, then they win. Like I don't think people should look at ends, because I still think they could win over us if we had ends, honestly. Because like Ploxy is a really good jungler, and like everyone is like really understanding how to play the game with each other. So like I don't think anyone should like like be picky about them or like anything from the situation that we're in. But we're gonna
That's
smash them
very-
either so it's fine. We don't need ends.
Also,
Not
I'll
gonna
show you who's
change
the true
anything.
carry of YDN.
that's
I
a
mean-
wholesome comment.
mean-
respecting the enemy. That's,
You're gonna play
I like
Glacial. We know that. You're gonna play Nico Glacial once again.
Everything's Nico now.
Holy shit! I'm not missing that like voiceovers we did in Racoon. I'm not missing
Oh
that.
yeah, me and Raresh. Yugi.
All right, you're also going to play against Rarish, he was like former teammate of yours.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel pretty good for him, honestly, because like when he, like I always like Feracton has a lot of I wouldn't say controversy, but a lot of thoughts on Raresh, like as a player. But I've always like I always think pretty highly of Raresh. I think he's one of the best AD carries in Italy. It's good that he's finally showing it, because he does so much that you don't see. Like he's such a good figure for the team. So like you don't see it, so you can't see how good he actually is. Even if he like chokes or like plays a bit bad sometimes in team fights or whatever, he's there for the team, like calling the necessary stuff and everything. Even outside of the game, he's like looking for ways to improve all the time. So like I'm so happy for him that he's finally making it. And yeah, playing against him, I mean it's gonna be pretty fun. He's gonna enjoy my roams to bot lane, probably. I'll show him the fear. And maybe I'll pull out the Glacial for good old times. Make him see how he was playing against it.
Vietnam flashbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm also playing against Sid. That's my old teammate.
Yeah. Actually.
So yeah, I mean, actually, I know Sid's playstyle a lot mechanically. But I think he's improved a lot from the time we had in Racoon together. And I think one of the reasons could be Ploxy, because like Ploxy is such a good early game jungler, it seems. Like he's really going at it, which is gonna be pretty fun considering he's playing against Tabasco, and Tabasco kind of reads and understands all the junglers' pathing and the way they want to play the game, and he's very adaptive towards it. So,
Assuming
if,
Tabasco doesn't play any carry.
of course, maybe that could happen.
So you're actually like it sounds like you're kind of trying to make for a solution, but actually you have the added advantage of unpredictability, that Racoon doesn't know where you're going to play your players.
Yeah, I mean, if you put, is this podcast gonna go out before the finals?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, then good luck to them finding out.
I mean, are you gonna play? Double sub in without Phantomles in
I don't know. Gene and Oakley's performing quite well in scrims, so it's pretty. Maybe. I mean, if they manage to, yeah, I'll teach Aqua Glacial. It's fine.
Whatever.
I'll do it.
Passing on to the next one.
Yeah, passing on not the torch. I guess the ice.
The ice cream. It's like a frozen torch.
Yeah, it's a frost fang.
So here's one of the nasty questions that we came up with, because during this split, Peter Dunn came up with very like high remarks about YDN, and he is kind of like very hyped about you, like probably the #1 fan outside of Italy, and he kind of got you into some high-profile scrims. Have you benefited from them, or is it actually?
I think we have benefited some sort. Thanks to it. It's still hard for us to find scrim, but like sometimes it happens that we actually find really, really good scrims. So like, yeah, he hyped us up and all that. I think it was pretty good because it helped us get scrims faster, since in the beginning we had abysmally bad scrims. Like, it was insane. Like, it really felt like we couldn't improve with the scrims we had. But then after that, like, we got some really good scrims, and like, yeah, it felt like it kind of had an edge against SMS, because you could really feel playing against SMS and playing against the teams who scrimmed, it was such a big gap. Like early game wise, like SMS, they just wanted to do nothing for like 20 minutes until they had 2 items, and then they tried to like go for objectives, and it's like it never worked on blue side, because like it was too easy for us to like do it. But on red side, it becomes a lot harder to control the dragons and stuff, so they could delay the game further, and it's like, I don't know what to say. Like, it was so easy to play against SMS, even though it seemed like it was close. And yeah, like, I think that's a lot thanks to the scrims.
Okay, which is like, it's actually surprising, because like with bad scrims you had no losses, and all the losses you had them after improving scrims. So it looks a bit like puzzling, but
yeah, I mean, it's hard to find your footing against the really good teams after you scrimmed some like
of course, also
average
like
ones.
As the season went on and then the playoffs started, also the other teams improved, so it makes sense.
Yeah, exactly. But like, yeah, I mean, it is what it is. And yeah, Peter Dunn hyping us, I think it was good, but I think it was also bad a bit, because I don't know if it got like it might have gotten to like some of the players' heads in YDN, and like I think it affected us, because it's still like a big figure, Peter Dunn talking about us, you know. But like in the end, we kind of how can I say? I mean, made it, I guess. But yeah, we'll see if we're as good as Peter Dunn says we are. Then we should win without ends.
I guess so.
It's time to show him.
Yeah. It is. Let's do it for Peter Dunn.
Maybe that's better than ends. Who knows?
Maybe we'll stay like this completely for you masters.
Bench.
Doubt.
That would be the true underdog story.
Yeah.
I would want to be on the score in that. The team YDN Gamers and their incredible run in EU Masters.
They were forced to swap a player before the final.
They're against all the odds.
From hero to zero to hero again.
Yeah.
I mean, it would be insane, but I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
So.
True.
So, this is like another question that we had from our fans, and any mid laners that you want to face on the European stage. Because there's like until a couple of years ago, there was this like huge pride point of the EU mids, man. It kind of died down a bit because there is not like the same feeling behind it, but I still think that there are many skilled players in the mid lane.
Like, why it kind of died down is because it got way harder carrying as a mid laner, I think, competitively speaking. So like, what you kind of have to look for is the way they move, play team fights, like all that, and then you have to communicate a lot as a mid laner if you want it to work out with your jungler. So I think that's kind of why it died down a bit, because the players started focusing more on macro. But then you have like players like Litter, Certus, that's just mechanically superior in every way. So it's like, I think who I'm looking forward to play against is probably like Certus and Litter, honestly.
So Litter is in Mouse Esports, right?
Yeah, and Certus is in Schalke Academy.
Okay, so both German teams, which are actually going to be like some of the stronger ones.
Yeah, I think those are like the most hyped mechanical players. So it's gonna be like, I want to see how it goes playing against them competitively. And also one team that I would like to face is Giants. They have Paris, right?
Oh yeah, Paris.
Yeah, like... Paris. Yeah, I wanted to see how like I do against Paris, because I think he's a very smart player and like pretty good. I think he's like the best mid laner in Spain, if like tied with Zico. So yeah, like I'm hyped playing against different players for different reasons, but mainly Litter and Certus because of the mechanics.
I'm raising you also another name that I'm keeping an eye on him, and where is he? Since like I've been here in Poland, so I followed a bit the scene, and there's this guy named Czekolad.
Ah, Czekolad. Yeah,
he's like in Rogue, and he's literally outperforming basically all mid laners in Poland.
Really? Even Marisol?
I haven't seen all the games from Rogue because most are just stomps, and I hate watching stomps. But like the few that I watched, he's like completely all over his opponent, keeps finding solo kills, and then snowballs to other lanes. And it's pretty impressive since he has started playing competitively like last year, I think.
I think he started playing competitively when I got into Inferno.
Okay, like I'm checking on Leaguepedia, he was on very minor teams, and then...
exactly. Like then he got into E-Monkeys.
Yeah, and it was like beginning of 2019. So...
Yeah, and he didn't have a good, like his team didn't have a good showing, but a lot of people were hyping him still.
Yeah, and he went to Vipers, Lions, and now on.
Yeah. I haven't seen much of Czekolad, honestly. Like, I don't think I watched that much of the Poland scene, sadly. Even though I think Poland is like actually a really strong region.
Like, Poland and Italy are in the same tier with Nordics and Balkans. So they
it's lower than
too
Italy.
get. No, it's the same level.
Same, yeah.
So
Oh, really?
they get one team to groups and one team in play-ins. But actually, like Poland and Italy are so far higher than Balkans and Nordics. It's insane that they're in the same tier.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh yeah, actually.
Nordic is kind of. I mean, I think the Nordic scene now is like. I think the scene can be good, but I don't know. Like, it feels like the players and team that should have performed just shit the bed so hard. For example, what was the team with aesthetic? Niter.
Nordavind.
Nordavind, yeah, like when they just kept on losing, like I was so shocked. Like, what the hell is going on? Like,
they pulled an SMS, but even worse because they didn't get to playoffs even.
Yeah, like they really just flunked. Honestly, like I don't know how that's possible.
And let me also check because there's 2 players that played in Italy at some point, which are
Wazer and
Wazor
Chrisberg.
and Chrisberg.
Yeah.
Both in OP.
Yeah. One better than the other.
One
And
is
obviously
top
it's a
8, you
Swedish
must
one.
say.
Top 8
One is
massive.
Swedish, one is Danish.
Yeah.
That's
to
also
say.
a point.
But yeah, yeah, it's so weird, honestly. Like I really thought that team would like be top tier. Even hybrids when they got Priscornet, but they got him kind of late, I guess. But yeah, like I don't know. It feels so sad to have these like teams with Swedish players that have been so good, and then it just doesn't work out. I don't know. Like I was pretty hyped for the Nordic team, honestly.
Mhm.
But, so it's pretty sad to see them shit the bed, especially with the mid laner. Like people were hyping him up really a lot, but yeah, pretty sad. But I think Nordic scene hasn't really. I don't think they've actually grasped the meta that good. Like
I see.
it feels like they're kind of playing their own style only, and it's kind of working for the teams that's Danish.
Is it like a scrim problem? Like maybe they're screaming only like Nordic teams or lower teams and they cannot figure out what is the actual meta?
Yeah, I mean that could be it, honestly, because scrims has a really big impact. Because like before we scrimmed like the good teams, we had an understanding. Then the meta swapped, and we were like looking for everything the enemies did, and that kind of helped us in understanding the meta and stuff. So like that's kind of what we're gonna have to do as well, and that's kind of an edge you have, especially like because I don't know about the other Italian teams, but when I was in Racoon before, like we didn't have that good scrims.
Yeah.
We had some, but then it was like they kind of stomped us and stuff, so it got like pretty hard. So yeah, that could definitely be like an issue with the Nordic scene, since the top tier teams are not performing that well, or are performing good, but then they don't have any contacts or anything similar. So yeah, but yeah, I mean Nordic scene right now seems not good, sadly. Or the teams in Nordic.
I mean, how can it be improved? Like,
I don't know how it can be improved, honestly.
Like, is it about like famous players getting back to Nordics and then like they can get good scrims because there is promiscuity in that team and maybe can like give the team some contacts, or is it like the orgs needs to invest more or something? Like, what can it be?
I mean, to be honest, the promotion tournament kind of like it just started as well, you know.
Yeah.
So usually, from what I see is that teams and organizations want they want to know that you're gonna be there, not get disqualified or anything, you know.
Yeah.
So I guess it could be like them just dipping the water for now, And I mean, as far as I know, there's a lot of rookies coming out of the teams.
I think the whole team of Vipers is made of rookies.
Yeah, they probably are. I don't recognize any name, honestly. A bit from solo queue, that's all. But yeah. I think that could also be it. Like, they're very new to the game, so in that aspect, I guess they're like fairly good. But I mean, the scene elsewhere is just so big that they're not really catching up at the right time. So like, I could give it like 1 or 2 splits, and there could be like some really good players in there if they decide to stay. So like, it could just be about time and them just finding their way.
Yeah. Also because the format changed this time. Like before, it was like every national league qualified some teams, and then they played the Nordic Championship, which was really hard for an org to invest into because you actually had to do 2 steps, and it was like very risky to invest.
Yeah.
But now it should be a bit like more regular, so that like for summer, for example, you just you're a new team, you just play promotion and then play against the bottom of the standings in Nordic. So it a bit like PG Nationals, where you can get into in a more ordered way, and it doesn't like you don't need to win your national tournament before getting into it.
Yeah, instead of being the top 1 team of your country, you can be the top 3 or something from your region, I guess you can call it. I agree.
And actually, that's a very interesting things about Nordic, that the Nordic League, something that's I have seen done only Nordics, which is you say that the community. No, that's different.
Oh yeah.
The Nordic community is the only one that planned not like an under series for teams that want to like practice and before getting into it, and that's like organized by the community. Yeah,
like an academy series.
Yes.
Yeah, true. I think you don't earn anything from winning that or anything, right?
No, it's just like community made.
Community made? Oh, really? I didn't know about that. But okay. I mean,
I'll put everything in the description for the ones watching the video. They can look it up themselves, and they're like all the teams, like some Niriki, Falcon, and Riddle. They're
the teams that didn't make it, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, there is like, I don't know if it's like linked with the main tournament, but there is another tournament in which like Nordavind has another team and Bloxy is playing in it.
Oh, yeah, that's Telenor-ligaen.
Okay.
I think it's not right, mates.
Okay, like, is it like it is not linked at all with other regions? Like, how is it work?
No, it's just Norway. I mean, it's the same as Italy. Like three Norwegian players has to be in the team.
But it's just for fun, for money, like you
cannot. For money and exposure, I guess.
Because like I've just
seen
like
there are like tournaments like that in Denmark as well. Except that Telenor-ligaen is like the biggest one. I mean, before the Nordic League, Telenor-ligaen was kind of the only scene Norway had.
Let me check.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty good for new players to play in that scene, since there's not a lot of people that can actually play in the biggest Nordic scene.
Mm-hmm.
But from the Swedish players, that I feel like they kind of find a way to become like to get an ego from actually playing in that thing and like being high up on it. Because when I look at the players, it feels like there's such a gap between them that there's kind of no average. There's not an average a lot from like the really good Swedish players. Like the gap becomes really big when it's in the middle, in a way.
Oh yeah.
So it's like really bad players that shouldn't have a say in stuff that much starts I guess you could say barking a lot. And like they just, they're just putting their mouth where they shouldn't, honestly, and just I don't know. They get an ego for like winning a very very small tournament and stuff, and then yeah, like it can get bad rep and everything. So like I don't know. I think if you're a humble player and you actually want to improve, then that's something good for you. But for the most Swedish players that I see, they're very not humble.
Okay.
I mean, I guess you can say that like for every like you know your country like the best, no?
Oh yeah, true.
And you don't know that side of Italy because like I think there is a lot of that in Italy too. Like a lot of
I
ego.
noticed it in promotion tournament.
Yeah, that's why. Like I think
Yes.
every region has that. It's only that you know like Swedish region better than others, and then you can see that in Sweden and not in Italy.
Yeah, I kind of noticed it in even in the Red Bull faction tournament when we were playing against I don't know what team it was, honestly. Like it was after Godbro's team, so it was like super easy to qualify. And they wrote to Sabat or Oklamat or something and said, "Oh yeah, good job winning with 2 import players carrying your asses" or something. When like Okla and Sabat was like destroying them as well. It's like what are they saying? Like makes no sense. So yeah, like I've seen a bit of it in Italy, and there are some players that shall not be named that obviously talk way too much.
I mean,
that's a spicy mustard comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a spicy mustard comment.
I mean, it's kind of true. But anyway, let's not do that.
We have the last question for you, which is, would you prefer? This is from Santo, our video editor, and he asks, would you prefer to be in a bad LEC team or in a good regional league team? Like throwing an example, like Comp, which is like has played an insane like couple splits in I think LDLC he was.
Yeah.
And now he is tanking so much in Vitality.
Yeah, true. That is very true. I guess. I mean, it is kind of coin flip in a way, because I think that you don't go. I think if you go into LEC instantly without thinking of the roster, thinking if it could actually win, then you're doing something wrong, or you're doing it for the money. But I think I would rather be. I mean, if you're saying a good or you're saying a great regional team.
I think great, one of the best, I guess.
Yeah, let's say great. Like
okay,
potentially topping you, Master.
Yeah, because if you're a good team in a regional, you could still not make it, since it's there's a lot of good teams. So if you say great, then yeah, I would go for the regional team for sure, because then you could have the sort of showing that gets you into a better team in LEC. So I guess that's what I would choose rather than being bottom tier.
Because at the beginning of this year, I actually conjectured that if regional leagues keep improving at the pace that they are doing, it would actually be more appealing for players to keep competing in their own region and make it better or winning it, whatever, than risking to have a bad showing by going to LEC.
Yeah, that could be true. I mean, if you play in a scene and you get enough contacts, you could actually like work in it to improve it. It's like same with Tabasco. He worked for Ultraliga, and like I think if he would decide to stop being a player or something, he could probably go back. So yeah, for sure that could be very true if you see it as an investment. For example, Don Arts in Germany, like he has, he's one of the most well-known German player, you know. So like he could I think he could find jobs if he would like want it, you know.
Yeah, like Don Arts, I think the moment he stops playing, he would instantly be a caster.
Actually, yeah, true. It could have. It could actually be a pretty good caster. I agree.
And I would say that the same holds for Briz.
Oh, really?
I would like bet everything that the moment he stops playing, which is he says every split like this was the last
This
one.
is the last.
I'm done with competing, but the moment he decides to really stop, he would bang as a caster.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't know since I've only heard him in English, since I don't understand Italian. But I can take your word for it. He seems like a very knowledgeable player. So yeah, I agree.
By the way, going back like to the question, like I would say that actually, to me, is a no-brainer. Like you should go to LEC every time. Like if you think about that, like you should have like a really good showing in EU Masters, like that good that you should skip the bottom tier teams and go like to the middle of the pack in LEC, and that's like really hard to do. And if you're that good of a player, you can have that showing in LEC too, and it's easier to keep staying in LEC instead of like jumping in a good team from EU Masters. Like if you stick around LEC and like the team is going like worse, but you're still showing decently, you can still go back to a good EU Master team, a good regional team. Like that's the way I see it.
Which is what Leader did, I think.
Yeah, the example of Leader. Like Leader went to a bad team, then a bad team, let's say, and then like in the moment he was dumped because of reasons we don't know precisely, let's say.
Kind of the org fucked him over.
Yeah. He had another team, and the team like wasn't doing great in the beginning, but still like they're doing great now, and like you can still do that.
Yeah, that's true. You still can do it.
But you cannot have the exposure you have in LEC in that split playing in the regional league, because like you can have some exposure, like maybe a like lower exposure, but like kind of better because you are playing better because the competition is like worse and everything.
I mean, I guess the one thing you could use is self-made. No, he was kind of in a bottom tier team. If he was not in that team, then I don't think he would have made like playoff or anything. So yeah, like self-made, that's kind of one example you could use. That's very true. But then again, like losing that much has such a mental on you. For example, Vitality right now, like they're playing with Selfie. Like Selfie's not a good player anymore. Like I don't care what Ellis says. Like
I mean, as far as I know, it's pretty toxic, no?
Yeah, exactly. And some people say it's because of Ellis. I don't know, but yeah, like putting a team that's already losing and then having Selfie in it, like yeah, it could be good in the early stages, and then it could be bad. But I don't know, like Vitality, they're losing all the time, and it feels like it's not gonna help because, I mean, it takes a toll on you. Like you start not trusting your players, and when that happens, it's kind of doomed because then you won't be able to do things the way it should be done in like scrims and even competitive. You're gonna try and do it your own way, and that's never gonna work out.
Yeah, like I agree with that, but that's a thing that is a problem for you in that specific split. But looking at your career, I think the exposure you have and like the doors you can open with playing in LEC 1 split are like it's just better than like even a good regional leagues, because you have to win EU Masters and like have a pretty good showing to have the same chances you have in LEC.
Yeah, that could also be true. I guess you could improve a way better in LEC as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's in that way you could actually do that.
Most likely is better to do that. Maybe there are 1 or 2 chances that actually playing in the best EU Master team is better than playing in the worst LEC team. But like usually I think is not the case.
Yeah.
I have like a question. As far as I know, you are a good friend like with Bravado, yeah? No?
Yeah.
Like there is that myth that Fnatic Academy is stomping LEC team in scrims. Do you know if that's true?
I think they're kind of they're winning kind of a lot in their scrims as far as I know, and I mean it should be kind of obvious if you look at the players they have. I mean they have Maggie Felix,
LEC team.
Dan.
I'm talking about
Oh,
like
LEC
scrims
team.
against LEC team. They like there is this rumor that they are stomping LEC teams in scrims.
I wouldn't know about LEC teams. I mean, if you look at the roster, they probably scrim them.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't know if they're stomping them. But they could probably perform against LEC teams from looking at the roster and stuff.
And like this team could be one of the teams like that is in the scenario we talked about, like one of the best regional teams, no?
Yeah. I mean, Peter Dunn mentioned it, right? So it has to be true. But yeah, I think that team is like, if it manages to make it to your Masters, it's gonna look so scary, honestly. But XL is actually showing up big time, like way more than they are.
Yeah.
So
Actually.
I think Fnatic's gonna play Barrage in the playoff, right?
Yeah,
Let me
which
just-
is
Yeah.
let me also.
Yes, they are playing Barrage, and XL are playing Envision.
But they're 1-1 against Barrage in regular season, so it's not as obvious.
Yeah, I mean,
the level is for sure higher. Like Fnatic should have no problems in dealing with Barrage, and a 2-0 is very likely.
oh, it's best of 3?
Surprisingly, yeah. And not only that, the final is even irrelevant because both teams are seeded directly into groups.
I guess they control.
Yes.
Huh. But yeah. I mean, yeah, true actually. I guess it's a coin flip for the teams. You could get number 1 and then you get the worst seed. Kind of like G2 when they looked like the super strongest team with Sven and Smithy, you know? They got
Yeah.
drafted into Samsung White.
SMS.
Yeah. Samsung White and what was the team? Was it RNG? I think it was RNG.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was RNG and no, it was is it 2018 Worlds, right?
Yeah, it was some
2018.
team. It was when Fnatic played pretty good.
Let me check.
No, it was 2017,
Mm.
or maybe no.
You were watching the
It's
play-ins?
World Championship. No, Sven and Mithy were in 2016.
Was it that late? Really?
Yeah, actually.
Yes, it was 2016, and they were in the group. It's not 2016. So it's
2017.
Okay, I didn't
was
think they stayed that long.
RNG, Samsung Galaxy, and Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, like that could be like that. Because then Samsung performed so well that tournament as well. And RNG lost to SKT, I think.
It was
In
the double 3-2
semifinals.
against Misfits and RNG for SKT.
Mm.
Like the split with the unexpected
it's-
Leona from Ignite.
Oh yeah, Blitzcrank, I think it was. Yeah, dude, I love that misfit. Dude, I was watching and I was like screaming.
Yeah, I mean, I guess every European fan.
I mean,
That's
I'm-
every one of us.
I'm such a big G2 fan. I've been a big fan of G2 ever since Perks joined LCS,
Mhm.
LCS EU. That was like, I don't know. He's kind of a role figure that I look up to so much. Like
Yeah, he's an insane, like
like
Type of
player and
player.
everything.
Like,
Like-
you can say something about like his attitude as far as you can see in the videos at the beginning, but like still, he's striving to improve. He's like evolving every like split by split. Is just insane player.
Yeah, like he's kind of like Faker in a way. Like he's adapting
He's Umayan.
a lot. Yeah, he's Umayan. He's not even Faker. He's Umayan. he's his own. He's his own figure and player, and I don't know. I respect him so much.
Yeah.
It's insane. I was pretty sad that when I went to Paris and I didn't get to like meet him. I for sure wanted to get a photo. But yeah, like I look up to him. Even like swapping to bot lane and then managing to swap back to mid lane and still playing so fucking good. It's insane.
So you're now probably doing the same, going to the bot lane for the finals, and then going back to the mid lane for your masters.
Who knows? I don't think. I mean, could happen. Could happen. The APs seem to be pretty good in bot lane right now.
I mean,
Glacial Syndra.
you played one game in bot lane. No?
Yeah.
You pretty good.
Actually, it was pretty hilarious because we kind of prepared it, like just that scenario in draft. We prepared it to happen because Ents plays AD carries better than me, and I play APs better than Ents. So like, we planned it in scrims beforehand, and I was always saying 2 weeks, like 3 weeks or something before. I'm like, okay, like I want to do this against SMS. Like I want to go bot lane and smash Dr. Matt. and then like just randomly we go into draft, and we're like, we play Syndra bot here, like Phantom. Are you fine with it? And I was like looking at Cosplay, I'm like, Cosplay, do you find it? And he's like, yeah, sure. And I'm like, let's fucking
Let's go.
Let's smash him. And yeah, I mean, the rest is history.
History.
Yeah, I showed him. I scared him off a bot lane, because then he got replaced by Guilty. Or he had the wrist issues or whatever it was.
You literally benched Dr. Matt.
Yeah. I toasted him.
So now let's put a joint effort and let's the narrative. So now you have an alter ego like Umayan, and it will be called Smoken Asomboken.
Sure.
Sure.
That's a
Yes,
good
but
legacy name to have.
I mean, it's your
Tier
legacy
one.
name, not mine.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I'll rename soon. So what was the thought process behind your new name, Smoker Sumbakken?
I don't know. They forced onto me.
It was forced by Italians.
Wow.
But I mean, it's pretty good though, because even looking at what the Dr. Matt did, like people hyped it up so much for no reason whatsoever. And actually, what I'm actually sad about is that they didn't continue trying some stuff in bot lane. Like the only spicy stuff that I saw from him was like Cillian. And it's like, oh, okay, you're gonna play Cillian like you play mid lane. You farm and you don't do anything. Fun. Like, I don't know. It's really weird how they, like, Crystal used it. I don't know if they played other stuff, but I don't know. They should have performed way better in the split with Dr. Metz.
He actually, like, never was the reason why they lost.
Yeah, but he was never the reason why they won as well, right?
Also.
Even when people hyped him up going 2-0. Oh my god, Dr. Matt activated. The Italian Umayan, he's coming. And it's like, I don't know, he was just playing KDA. He was just doing AD carry things, I guess.
Toxic.
I mean, truth.
Adapted well.
Facts.
Yeah. Whoa. But yeah, like, I don't know. It's not easy to do, but it's good because we got to see that he couldn't do it, and that you shouldn't do it most of the times unless you're like a very adaptive player. So, yeah, kudos to him for showing how to fail in a way. But I still respect it. I mean, he kind of has like I talked with Farrington, and he told me that Dr. Matt was actually like a really insane player back in the days. So yeah, maybe he has some sort of ego, but if I don't know, from past teammates from playing with him, I don't think he's I don't know. I don't think he should like be taken as highly as people do anymore.
I mean, we'll see if like he's gonna play again in a good team and he's gonna show up.
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
no
he
one
could,
knows, but
he could do a like a how can I say comeback story,
comeback
a
story.
comeback arc.
Yeah.
Also, like,
comeback arc.
I mean,
Fucking anime.
I also was a bit skeptic about his role swap, but I can actually like change my mind, and I would say that he, as an AD carry, he costed less resources to his team, because when he was in the mid lane, the whole team had to play around him so that he would not lose lane so hard. While as AD carry, it was like kind of, you know, he was there, but like self-sufficient.
Yeah, I mean, true, but then again, like you saw what happened when I went to bot lane, you know, like I went to bot lane and I kind of like me and Cosplay kind of stumped him and Click, and it's like that's not really supposed to happen, you know. Even if you have a bad matchup, it's not supposed to happen. And that's kind of the thing about it, because it's like if Ents would, I'm pretty sad because it would be fun to see Ents play against Dr. Matt, because he would like him and Cosplay could just abuse.
He actually never played against Dr. Matt.
Yeah, he didn't.
Because you played once and then they swapped with Guilty.
Yeah, I mean he left me to you know, do the benching, which I'm happy for. But yeah, like it would like you would really see how much Ents would actually abuse Dr. Metz, like in an AD carry matchup for sure.
Yeah, like I think it would be the same. Like I don't think we're gonna see that, because I guess he's gonna like play mid if he's gonna play like next split in some other teams.
He should, but yeah, I mean, I guess it's also the Italian residency that helps as well, you know.
Yeah,
kind of
sure.
the thing. I mean, it's always how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we have no more questions. Do you have one, Clockwork?
I think I talked all the shit I needed to.
Okay.
All right.
So
no mid lane tier list, no anything, Kappa.
No tier list. We
Not
have
yet.
one. We have one, and like we stopped doing tier lists because we don't want to trash talk someone. We don't want the controversy of.
No. That's actually the coward answer. It's that we already did all the roles,
Yeah.
so we're waiting for EU Masters.
Yeah.
To introduce some new faces, and then for a summer split we'll do them again.
Fun times.
And the last thing you have to do is like some sort of shout out you want to do, like something you want to say to your fans, anything. Like if you do it in Italian, it's even better, because like, you know, you play in Italy.
If there's something to finish with, I mean, make sure to come in and watch the finals against Racoon. It's 29th on 15:30, I think it starts. But this is PG, it can be later, so make sure you have food so you can eat while you wait. And yeah, you're gonna be looking at a very spicy series. It's not gonna be as boring as SMS.
I mean, that's a good one. Double dub.
Double dab.
Wow, that was something.
Yeah.
Okay,
Super nice.
I think that's it for today. Thank you, Mr. Kim Storm. Like, your name is so much better than your nickname. Like,
yeah, rename next split, no worries.
Kim Storm. That's
Kim Storm.
Your nickname. It's so much better.
Kim Phantomles Storm.
Thank you, and thanks everyone that is watching this. I don't know if like it's gonna be Italian viewers or
Okay, so I'll
Some
post him to
information.
Reddit, so I will expect some, foreign fans. I will say, like,
I mean, just
subscribe, keep following us. We might do more content for EU Masters in English. So
if you liked
stay
it, like
tuned.
just say that in the comments so we can like keep doing that, I guess.
Exactly. So, tell us everything, what went wrong, what was cool, and we'll do more. So stay tuned.
Thank you.
And
See ya.
goodbye.